Good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 7. Yep, we are officially in the second third of the semester, so I hope that everyone's doing well. We are well on our way to finishing the draft of essay number 2 this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at this week's module. Again, I'm just going to click on this week's module right here, take us where we need to go. Your overview and objectives this week, there aren't very many really. Your focus this week is on the essay number 2 rough draft. So all of the course activities this week are really just designed around that. As always, I posted the essay assignment again for you here. Takes a second to load because I have so many tabs open here on a different screen. But again, that is there just to remind you what the essay requirements are. Next page is, again, a page just reminding you about the conference. Keep in mind, it's an assignment. It's worth 5 points. If you meet with me, great. If you decide that you don't want to meet with me about the essay or you just don't get around to it, it just means you won't get the points for that. And of course, if you would like to meet more than once to talk about your essay, you are also welcome to do that. The instructions for how to schedule a conference are also listed right here. And as I have mentioned before, if the times that I have available just don't work for you, please send me an email or a message in Pronto and let me know, and I'll see what I can do about trying to meet with you. Okay, a couple of pieces of writing instruction for this week. The first here is about paragraphs. And, I think sometimes we forget how important the paragraph is. It's really easy to just kind of ignore the paragraph as a real tool in your essay writing. And so I added this page. It's just kind of a reminder about the paragraphs. But what I do like about it is that it kind of helps to explain how the paragraph is so important in the essay. I mean, again, we kind of take it for granted. It's a paragraph. But like as a unit, how it actually works with its own drive, with its own focus that you establish in the beginning, and kind of how you can use that paragraph again to connect back to your thesis and kind of what you're trying to discuss in the essay. So I would encourage you to read this. It won't take you very long. It's just the one page. But it just kind of gives you some reminders about those elements in paragraphing that I think we sometimes kind of forget and kind of gloss over. The next page is going to set up the discussion board for the week, and it's something that I call the essay roadmap. It's basically kind of like an outline, but not exactly an outline. It's just a way for you to really think about, all right, so if I've learned about paragraphs, then what do I need each paragraph to do in my essay? And how can I kind of go into my drafting process with that in mind, right? I've given you some examples here. This is kind of like originally like this is a traditional like list of ideas, but this is not a roadmap, right? A roadmap is more developed than that. So that way you can begin to see, again, how your ideas are kind of stacking on top of one another, how they are connecting to each other, how they are connecting back to the thesis, right? That's really what we're going to be working on in this essay. So I give you this kind of Christopher Columbus example here. And then on the back page, there's another example of kind of what that can look like. And I do want you to take a look at this because you can see here from my example that originally this was a 3-point thesis. I'm going to write about mindset, fear, and student identity. And so what I've talked to many of you about and kind of all of our thesis work has been about is kind of how to move out of that 3-point thesis and how to connect it to a bigger theme. And so in this example, just kind of so you could see that the theme that I'm tackling is motivation. Like that is the reason why students are not successful. They're having issues of motivation. And so I just wanted you to see what that looks like, in practice, that theme that I kept talking about, and then you're still able to kind of talk about the elements that you wanted to. All right, so this page sets up the discussion board, and the discussion board is for you to write your roadmap for essay number 2. Again, we're moving everything towards the draft that's due this week. So last week was all about the topic and the angle and really kind of thinking about what your essay was going to do. This week it's the roadmap and thinking about your paragraphs and your paragraph structure, and then the rough draft is due next. So you can kind of see how everything is just building right towards that. So your roadmap is due Tuesday with a peer reply by Wednesday. Now, normally the peer reply is due on a Thursday for a Tuesday assignment, but I want everyone to get some feedback on their roadmaps before the draft, which is due on Thursday, right? So I want everyone to get some feedback before you complete and submit your draft. So the roadmap is due Tuesday. You can see some folks are already in there, which is great. There's your reminder. And then your rough draft. Oh, sorry, that's right. I forgot to put this page in here about using evidence. I've had a lot of people ask about incorporating evidence. And so I went ahead and added this page. It's included in this essay skills module here, but this page just gives you all of the basics about integrating sources into your evidence. Excuse me, I really like it because of how it does it, right? How to integrate quotations, how to do it correctly. And then there's there it is. Well, you can see here, like how to use the brackets, how to use ellipses, right? How to use the colon. It's just really practical ways of integrating evidence into your essay. Now, next week, we will be talking about how to cite it. So if you're worried right now about like, I don't even know how to cite, a student essay. I don't know how to cite a student interview from like the Rebecca Cox reading. That's okay. Don't worry about that yet. It's the rough draft. I'm not hung up on that. We'll get to that next week, right? This week it's really, I really want you to focus more on the draft. Don't get too bogged down in the little details. But I did want to include information here about how to integrate evidence. On that same kind of thread of integrating evidence, many of you, I think, are familiar with the book They Say, I Say, and if you're not, that's okay. It's a book about writing that many English teachers in high school and college use because they give students templates that you can use to incorporate evidence. And so I've given you basically the handout here. You can save yourself the $15 and just kind of look at the handout. But it's a way for you, especially if you struggle with that, it's a way for you to introduce evidence, is a way to kind of embed it in your sentence. If you know, for example, that you want to, agree with something and you're not sure how to say it, there's a template for that. So this is a tool that you can use. I would encourage you to download it, save it, or open up the Google Doc, save it as a Google Doc so you can have it forever. It's just a really good tool, and it's something that I give to my students in all of the writing classes that I teach. So that's something that you can use. And let me just make it clear, you're not plagiarizing if, for example, you use a template like this, because whatever is in that blank space, that's your thinking. So you're using the template, and you can do that. It's not considered plagiarism. All right, the rough draft. So on the assignment sheet, I originally had the rough draft due on Wednesday of this week. But again, because I want you to get some feedback on your roadmap from your classmates, I'm having the rough draft due on Thursday instead. So it's Thursday, you have a grace period through Friday. I'm not looking for you to have an intro or a conclusion, so don't worry about that. I do want to see your thesis. It should not be a perfect thesis, right? Make it an SFD thesis if you want to. And you can kind of read the other pieces of information that are on this page. But the idea is for you to give a substantive draft, right? This is not a shitty first draft, right? I do want to see the body paragraphs here. And then the next page is the actual essay number 2 assignment. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in. Sorry, you're going to see some real life think aloud here. But I think I'm going to go in here and extend this until 11:59 p.m. I usually do that for rough drafts. I'm not quite sure why I didn't do it here. But anyway, your essay rough draft is due Thursday by 7:59 p.m. I'll change this grace period to 11:59 p.m. on Friday, so you have a full day of a grace period there. It's the same as it was last time. You're going to be sending me the Google link. Make sure that I have editing access, please, so that way I can give you feedback on it. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can watch this little video here. And then you have your write-in territory due Friday. That's the same as always. Please make sure that you are proofreading those. And then that's it. That's it for the week. So my goal is to get those rough drafts turned around to you on the early part of next week, and then we can work towards the final draft. So if you know already that you want to conference after you get the rough draft feedback, then go ahead and sign up for a conference next week. I would sign up Wednesday or later. So that way I make sure I have enough time to get those rough drafts turned around to you. Okay, all right, I think that's it. I will go in and make that change to the rough drafts. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I have all kinds of conferences this week and next week, and I have student hours also. So don't hesitate to pop in if there's anything I can help you with. I hope you all have a great week.